So I'm back on here again now, and if anybody wants to turn this off, you can, because I decided it's going to be too hard for me to actually do the crazy patchwork on a solid thing like this, okay? So I'm just going to have to continue on making this as it is, and then one day hopefully I'll be able to show you how to do the crazy patchwork. Now, I found this piece of a scarf, and I want to use this to put on now because I know I want a nice base for it. And I've cut it out so it is long enough that it will go around this way. I mean this way, I'll go from the whole way around the bag like that. Okay, now what I did before, I wanted to do this in, you know, with less pieces of fabric, so you're not going to have lots of seams and things. So I'm hoping this is going to work. I'm going to glue that in this part here in the inside there. So I'll put that on there first because I want to glue that down. Now this is only a very thin fabric. Everybody of course can use whichever they like, because that's only my base piece. I want to this is the second sort of base piece because there's going to be stuff over this as well, but you know, I want it to be nice like what I'm looking for. So now I'm going to bring this up at the side here, okay, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue along this bit. I'm going to bring that up over the side like so. This has got a tiny little bit of stretch in it, but not much. If you used a stretch fabric, that would work all right too. As you can see, I didn't cut it very good, but I think that was previously when I cut it before. Another time, I don't think that was from today's cutting out. So I better put in the description box that this was going to, I did think about doing the crazy patchwork thing, but then I changed my mind. Now, they'll tuck down in there, of course, when we get to that bit. So, now, on the bottom piece, you'll need to put, to get hold of it here, so you've got a nice fold, like so. If you turn that over, and you fold it down in there, and you bring it up along here, hopefully that'll look nice and neat there. I'm going to just give it a little pin, just to give it, let me see what's going to happen when I do the other side, make sure that it's going to be what I want it to do, what I want it to do. Now you can see through this, so you can actually see there's bits of fabric under there, so we need to flatten that down, make sure it's all nice and straight. Like I said, it's going to be covered again, but I still want to get the underneath parts nice and straight. You don't want them to be bulky bits. Righto, now that's bad. What have we got here? Maybe too much overlap. Could be. Makes, oh well, what's this doing here? It's not cooperating there. Okay, nobody panic. It's good to, we'll have to stop. We'll have to fix this, won't we? We can't have all this bulkiness. Let's chop a little bit off, okay? Let's chop a bit off. Let's not take too much though, because we're not going to be very happy if we end up with nothing. You can cut it off, but you can't put it back on, can you? You know, Mum used to say it's not like dough. You can't roll it back up and then put it back out again. Let's just say she didn't really do it really good, but anyway. Okay, there we go. Much to my husband's dismay, I suppose, but it's been one for cooking. That's not been one of my things, I'm afraid. Yeah, there we go. Now we'll do the same on this other side. It's just come unstuck, but I'm sure it'll go back down there in any minute. Now when I get back to it, I need to put some glue on this side for this one to get onto as well. I should have pinned that, shouldn't I? Hang on. Right, that bit's got on there. You know, when something doesn't work right for you, I've often been told, you know, that there's something the matter, just go away from it. And in a lot of cases, you know, that's the truth. It doesn't, if it's not going properly, leave it alone. but I haven't even put any glue on here. My supposed to stick. But this is not entirely going wrong. It just keeps coming unstuck. Obviously it's not drying quick enough. But we're not going to fret about that. We're not going to fret about that one bit. We're just going to keep working and make this look really hard. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Now, but you know what? All this moving about and fiddling around with it, it's just what's needed to get it, because it's not actually straight up and down. This thing, this purse, handbag, because it's not actually straight up and down, you need to take the top in a little bit further than the bottom. There you go. Now see, that's pretty good. And I'm just going to need a little bit of tucking and gluing to fix down into the top. Like this. And down in there. And I know I've been working on so much stuff, and I'm just like a bit of a blowfly here. I'm going round trying to find, I'm doing all these different things, but I can't help myself because now I've got my room clean. I thought, oh, now I need to make that. Oh no, dear, now I need to make that. And I've got so much that I'm working on. Hopefully on the weekend I'm going to get all that finished. I've decided that I'm going to allow myself to do that, even though we were going to thinking about having a nice yard clean up as well, working bee out the back, because the winter time's upon us and we need to do a bit before it gets too cold, even though I might be doing a bit more sitting and directing than much else, which is, it's okay, I can sit down and use a few of my skills to do something. Surely I can do something. I can help my husband, and says he wouldn't like to work for me. Poor man. I'm a bit, well, it's terrible, I know, but I remember my mother used to always make sure we were doing something and jumping along. I never got to do that with my kids because I didn't think I wanted to do that. We used to have to be doing stuff all the time, just like she did when she was young. I suppose as we get older, we can get away with more, you know, like as far as we can teach our kids as much as we want, as far as keep working and keep busy, but there's nothing worse than sitting around wasting time. People, friends used to come here and have a cup of coffee and then they'd go on, and then the next one come and you think, why don't people go home and do something? Because, you know, Jeremy and I, you know, we still do stuff. We do things. You know, you got to be making, or maybe a bit of cleaning, a bit of watching the telly, anything, but you got to be doing something. You can't be just sitting there and drinking coffee all day, excuse me. Anyway, I didn't swear. I didn't. It was close, but I didn't. Now, I'm not going to worry too much about this. I'm sticking it in here pretty as good as I can, but that is actually going to have an inside in it, which is going to make I'm going to make a bag, put it down in there, and it'll be fastened around these top pieces here. This material is not taken very good with my glue. It's taken a while to settle down, so I'm going to just let that have a bit of a rest, that bit there, and keep sticking to my hand. See, because it's only very thin, the glue's going right through it and it keeps sticking to me and it's pulling it apart. Now, so there you go, that nasty looking bag that was black and whatever is now turning into this pretty pink one, which is not going to be pink, I don't think. I was going to go for the cream colour today, Sonya. I wanted to go for the cream colours today, so let's see how we go. I will be back in a minute and I'll just get a bit more done on this, but that's so far how I have partially covered my bag. I'm turning into something a lot prettier than what it was, I hope. And I'll be back in a second. I'll go and clean some of this glue off me. Thanks for watching.